Hi guys, today we are going to discuss the commission. As some of you will already know, I received my first commission since starting my business or starting the website, which was last month. Yay! I've documented as much as I possibly can. With regards to the nature of the beast, there were bits where I couldn't document just because I found it all too much, too stressful. So I started this piece, you know, in the evenings when I was finished with my day job. I had been given the brief of the customer, which was large in part what they had seen on my website, what I already had, combined with some of the interests I was dealing with at the time, I still am. Little did I know, this commission became the precursor to quite an interesting body of work that I am absolutely excited to introduce to you. You'll get a tiny taste at the end. You will see actually to the right of me, I have a drawing table that's been propped up, and on that is some of the reference material that customer had picked out. And I also have another piece there. Rather than going straight to the canvas and doing it there, I will imagine my idea on paper first, even if it's just swatching, color mixing, shapes, textures. Before I commit to the canvas, I will do it on a piece of paper. One of the reasons was discovered not long ago in I Chuffed Up, a video, so I'll link it somewhere around. I Chuffed Up was discovering that I could create work that I love, I'm interested in and really excited about unconsciously. I will always have a secondary piece, 3-4 pieces on the go, all of which more than likely will be paper, but I'm going to try and sample this process on canvas. So one canvas I'm working on, one that I choose to swatch on, and the other as just like a palette, right? And see what comes of all three. I knew at this point it was not working out. Me and this piece went vibing, we were bonding. You get that gut feeling, don't you? It's almost like a relationship. You know it's ended or it's ending, but there are parts of your emotions that aren't ready to give up the ghost. And I feel that's somewhat relatable in creating art, isn't it? I've run out of materials. I know. When I started this commission, I knew that I was going to have to invest in some more materials. So I went and did that, but I thought it'd be really fun to swatch them out. So I'm going to go and do that now. I have received an order for the commission, so I'm just going to swatch it out on here with you. I think I've ordered these before, but I haven't actually swatched any of them out. These are all Liquitex Basics. I use Liquitex Basics because although heavy body's great, as is soft body, but I just don't have a preference enough to warrant the additional cost. These are, oh, that one's quite nice. That one's Thalio Kano Canny Momo Green. And if you don't know what that means, there it is there. Just so you know. See? Thalio Kano Canny Green. Okay, right, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Ooh, way too much on there. But that is a nice colour, actually. This one is Pyro Red, I think. Pyro Red? Do you know? Why on earth do you stay with me, guys? Look at that. There's the brush part. Look at that. We're just going to go with it. I can't afford to waste paint. Oh. Right, what's that one? Deep Violet. Now, I have ordered this before. Absolutely love it. Plays nice with other colours. Love, 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 love. Yellow. This one is a primary yellow. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. I love a yellow me. Liquitex Basics are quite pigmented, so they really mix well together. They're just a really great option. Ooh. That one's quite vibrant, isn't it? See, nice skies. So if we do washes, look, do you see what I mean? Really nice, quick washes. Beautiful. What was that one? Cadmium Orange Hue. All right, now we've got the blues here, so let's go from light to dark, shall we? Right, so this one is a Creoline Cruline Blue Hue. It feels like the brain will not acknowledge each word and like put it in a coherent sentence or word. Does that make sense? It just wants to piss about. Ooh, I like that. Nice, 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 nice. What one's you? Primary Blue. Oh, that one's way too much. I mean, when you look at this palette, it's very bright, but I pre-mix a lot of stuff, don't I? Now this is Preely Cocaine Blue. So it's like the green but the blue version, all right? You know, you get it. I think this is, no, it's not one of my favorites. That's very similar actually, isn't it? Very similar. Right, I know that this is quite a bright palette for this commission, but I mix all of these into pots. Now, if you're new here, this is what I mean. So I mix them into these pots and usually they come with sand. I'll show you. So look, globby, bloop bloop. Love, 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 love. This one actually hasn't got any sand, oddly enough. That's nice. Oh. Oh, delicious. That's what I do with them. Oh, just getting it everywhere. Let's just get cracking, shall we? Hi guys. I thought we'd jump on quickly. Obviously, the commission. I've said this on many occasions. Oh, I don't know why I've got those on still. I'm not a factory. I don't function like a factory. You know, you press a button and it kicks out. I'm not a printer, right, of things. I am a human being and I'm a creative human being, which means we are very temperamental. You know, we're very emotional. You know, we have to be emotionally involved when we create. And I'm no exception. So when you come across things like commissions, they can be quite difficult, especially if you're not in the mood. I've been trying to find that balance, and these are things that I just have to be honest with myself and with the customer about. When you are having things like this that have sort of time stamped, people are waiting and everything, it can be difficult. I don't want those negative thoughts to come to pass. You know, I'm going to be really kind to myself. I'm going to be very realistic with myself and the customer. I think doing a video on it is only going to help. Right, because then I like to make sure I get something done for you guys. I like to start a video, and if I'm doing a work like these or these big ones, I know there's been quite a few where I haven't finished the work, but I'm finishing the work. This is the other thing that I've found. I really love my work on paper. I also love my work on sketchbooks, you know, and I think that that is definitely my vibe. I love my work on canvas to a point. The whole idea of canvas, very laborsome, it's very labor intensive, isn't it? It's not so much about stretching the canvas and creating the canvas itself. There was one video of me doing it and it's just carnage here. As soon as something becomes psychologically elevated, do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Am I making sense? You know, nice paper, it can be a trigger. Like quality paper. I don't know what it is. Even if it reminds me of quality paper, it freaks me out. I don't even know why. I've got loads of the bloody stuff and I avoid it because it's too posh. I know. I'm a weirdo. Posh materials do that to me. Like really expensive posh materials. I freak out and my work is a reflection of that. But I do feel that working on canvas is like there's just something always getting in the way, and they take me a while, like this one and this one here. They take me a while just to overcome that, you know, this needs to be amazing because the canvas is so big or it's quality, and it's like, I don't know. I just can't explain it. Working on paper is just it's less daunting and I get in my head less because it's paper. Sketchbooks are even less than that. Cheap sketchbooks are even less than that. And some of my favourite works have been created that way. That's why I've taught myself how to create prints out of works that I love that are in sketchbooks. If I hadn't have done that, believe me, my shop would be smaller. the way I'm getting kind of round this is I'm going to do some pieces of work on this, right, which is just paper, but is textured like canvas. So I'm kind of trying to combine the texture of that with that, but using the same materials. So I've still got my mixed up stuff, and I'm going to do it like that. I think that would be really helpful, and just push my way through it. And we're going to do it together. Let's see how I get on with this. I'm hoping this idea works. I bloody hope it works. Just saw me create. I added to it off screen. I had to wait for stuff to dry. It's that textured sand, that's the problem. What? Right, so I'll get that piece out for you. This is what we ended up with. It's all textured. It's absolutely, I don't know whether you can see it. Probably a bit there. I don't mind it. I think, you know, just playing around with like composition, colour. I know you know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say. Yes, you're absolutely right. There is bits about it I like. Okay. With regards to this paper though, I don't think it's made much difference because I work on stuff so heavily with textured sand, lay it on thick. I then go in with mixed media. So sometimes I go in with Neo 2s, oil pastels, soft pastels, you know, whatever takes my fancy in that moment, I'll just start shoving medium on and seeing what happens. So I don't think that in this case, this canvas or textured like canvas paper had really much impact when it came to overcoming that whole elevated, non-elevated thing, that weird thing I'm going through. It's a good piece though. I mean, it's all right. It's got information on there that I'm gonna keep. Last week's video, what did I do last week? Last week was the Derwent, wasn't it? I work on like multiple videos together, and so I forget what's published and what isn't. I know, nightmare. These are not from that video, but they are inspired. I continue to work on them, and actually some of these are absolutely lovely. And yeah, so this is kind of the stuff I've been looking at doing, and I love it. Sorry if it is shiny. The reason is I had to fix it because it's a combination of Derwent charcoal tinted colouring pencils and the Derwent tinted graphite colouring pencils as well, and they transfer, so they just go into powder. But I'm absolutely delighted with that. I also went ahead and did this one. I started to incorporate bodies of water because, you know, from last year, I really wanted to start working on bodies of water a bit more, incorporating it into my work, because I go to a lot of lakes. I live in the Lake District, so obviously I'm surrounded by the bloody things. And I think it's silly not to incorporate them in my work somehow. This one I was going to work on top of, but now I've seen it again, I'm probably not. Look how abstract that is. I surrounded the sky. I really went in there, back in there with the paint. This was one of the paints that me and Pat were discussing last week via email, and it's that kind of green grey. Last week I called it blue grey. It's not, it's a green grey. I know, idiot. With her pictures from Maine. The piece that I'm actually, that Pat referenced was this one, which I've since been knocking stuff over, which obviously has inspired a huge body of work, namely influenced by the colour and some of the textures. I will give you a sneak peek at a more substantial piece. Again, it's still on paper, but when I spoke earlier about having that secondary piece on the go, something on paper, on the drawing table, I found that to be extremely useful, and it was something that I really took on board after I created the I Chuffed Up video and started to explore notions of unconscious work or unconscious painting or drawing. I do this by just swatching. I do it by using paper as a palette, which creates a foundation. Now, I've been doing this unconsciously for a while, and I hadn't really considered it as a viable means of creating work up until sort of recently, which is so interesting when I look back. I've obviously fixed it with my gloss as well, but I am extremely excited about this body of work. I'm very happy with it. This was kind of me practicing the kind of ideas I had. It's one of my favorite pieces, but it is certainly the start of quite a beautiful body of work in my opinion, and I'm very excited about it. Now, it does look very representational, and considering that my whole creative existence has been pushed towards a more abstracted approach, I'm still very much on that journey. Even though this itself doesn't reflect that, I think that we have to start somewhere, don't we? And sometimes the start of something is the most exciting part of the journey, I think anyway. What do you guys think? I'm going to show you another piece as well that was created in the same way, and this other piece was created before this one, and this is that piece. It's far more textured, much more textured. You can see it's just extremely vibrant. I'm not 100% on the composition, and I feel that they're giving me somewhat broccoli. I feel very much a broccoli vibe going on. There is still so much that I absolutely adore about this, and it is honestly, it's caked in material, and I really like those kind of really yummy textures. So this is just two of a whole series. I wasn't going to kind of introduce this body of work to you just yet, but I can't help myself. And like Christmas, I'm terrible at Christmas presents. Everyone knows what they're getting in June, right? I'm rubbish. Let me know what you think about the new body of work. I was so excited to show you. And I haven't put it on social media because I wanted to introduce it like properly. I'm just so excited about it. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it so hard and really sort of flirt with the line between abstract and representational, which is totes my flavour. Totes! I wanted to do like a grand reveal of the commission. You're still going to get a reveal, but not the one I had intended. The piece is still at the framers. I was hoping I was going to get a call maybe yesterday or hopefully today. I mean, it is about 7 o'clock in the morning, or 7:30. My day job starts in about an hour, and I haven't got a call from the framers yet. So, still early days. I might be able to do it, but I really wanted to like film the framers, because the framers we have here is absolutely stunning. It's such a beautiful little shop. So I really wanted to get some filming with that, pick it up, do the reveal, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wait on that. But I will still do a reveal. So this was before the framers. Here you go. I am just giving it a once over with some sealant. Seal that baby up, keep it away from the elements as much as possible. What I love about this piece is that it is a precursor to this body of work that you've just seen. A bit of background on the brief that I was given. The brief I was given by the customer was landscape. I was given quite a free-for-all, which is one of the best to get. They did send me through some of their own reference material, photographs and such likes of the local area that they wanted me to focus on. There are significant things going on in their lives, so there is a bit of symbolism in there, which I'm not going to discuss with you for obvious reasons. It's very personal. I'm not making prints of this work, obviously, as it is a commission. Ordinarily, I would ask, but because of that personal element, I wouldn't feel comfortable making prints of the work. Much to my mother's dismay, I might add. No, mother, no. It is a lot more colourful than the body of work you just, well, I don't know actually. I was going to say it's a lot more colourful, but it isn't, because that broccoli piece, psychedelic broccoli, here, shall I call it that? The psychedelic broccoli. I'm going to write that down. Bible. How do you spell psychedelic? Oh God. The problem with my dyslexia is my brain wants to spell everything phonetically, which I'm sure you can understand is like really bad. But then when you go beyond like 4 letters upwards, it can get really tricky. Silent letters, like stealthy letters. I mean, what are you doing there? It's like pneumonia. What is going on with that word? I don't know how to spell it. I just know that the beginning is really confusing and that's how I remember it. Anywho, customer is happy with the piece. I hope. You know how people are just nice to you? Oh, gremlins are coming out to play. Oh dear. You know how you feel your gremlins like scratching at the walls of your brain, just like, yeah, really, do they? They're just being nice to you? Shut up. Shut up. Take a day off. No. No. Silence, you fool. Silence. Okay, so you've just witnessed a very strange altercation between me and my brain. Don't think less of me. My final thoughts before I leave is I am really happy with the outcome. The journey though, the journey was dodge. You know, there was aspects of this journey that was quite bumpy, but actually fortuitous, because doing this commission, accepting the commission, gave me an opportunity to look at my work in a different perspective. Now I've got more clarity, I feel. I'm not going to avoid canvas. I feel like I gave the impression that I was going to turn my back on canvas. Not the case at all. I am going to persist with canvas, but I feel that it's going to take a very different approach for me. And I know I'm probably not alone, but I love the work that I create when I don't have that pressure. It's just so, I don't love it all, but more often than not, I think I'm creating works that I think are just fabulous and I get excited about. You know, when you create a piece that you're just so intensely excited about that it makes your mouth water. Or is that just me? Again. Oh, it's just delicious. Anyway, you're amazing. You know you're amazing because I tell you every week. And I love you for just showing up and supporting me. I'll see you next week. Mwah!